Hello, my name is Shachar Peled, and this is the seventh lecture in a series about evolution and faith. I am continuing in this session the subject that I began speaking of in the fifth clip about perfection and becoming perfect, the two aspects of reality. And I continue this idea to develop it. Everything is in God, and God is in everything. How is that? The soul that one finds in every creature, all creatures that aspire to their perfection, is this soul that is within this life, that is within every creature, is the infinite perfection appearing inside the world. And everything is united because all creatures, great and small, are divine creations that have the spark of divinity within them, in that they constantly aspire to better their conditions, to become better. And man himself becomes a process of evolution by becoming more and more perfect. This also provides a solution for the very deep question, the very searing question: why should an almighty creator who can create the world in the blink of an eye, why should he create a world in which 14 billion years have to pass until the cosmos reaches such a level that it becomes conscious enough that this very question can be asked? Why does it take 14 billion years to have man? For the world to become conscious, because man is part of the world. Is the function of the world, as I said before. Everything is merged. Man is made from the same materials as the rest of the cosmos. He is that part of the cosmos that is conscious. So why did it take 14 billion years? So the Rav answers that the very slowness of the orders of reality, the limitations of nature, the external negligence, as it were, the randomness, the limitation of its spiritual highlights, of its spiritual highs, the very temporariness of miracles. The miracles just are fleeting, they pass, they never persist. All these are the containers, the vessels that hold the function of ceaseless perfection, not perfection, ceaseless becoming more perfect, ceaseless transcendence, which is the very essence of reality. Because reality has descended so low so that it can also increase and rise infinitely without interruption. What? Just 14 billion years? That's the blink of an eye for God. So when we perceive God as perfection and becoming perfect at the same time, as infinite and manifest at the same time, or transcendent, which is the infinite perfection, and immanent, which is the perfection that is striving to manifest itself and appear in the world, two aspects of God that are both one, the transcendent and the immanent. When we realize this, we reach the very question of the deepest question of all: the reason for the world's existence. Why does the world exist? This is a huge leap from how the world operates, how it is built, to why it operates. Why is the world? Why should there be a world? Why did God create the world? The classic conundrum of faith. So, the Rav says, what then do we think regarding the divine purpose in inventing reality, inventing the cosmos? We say then that absolute perfection is something that must be, because that is God by definition. And there is nothing potential in absolute perfection, but everything is actualized. Everything is perfect right now, completely perfect. But only one thing can be missing from totally actualized perfection, and that is the actualizing perfection, the perfection of perfectibility, the perfection of becoming better, of becoming more perfect. That is a dynamic form of perfection that in itself is a kind of perfection. So, such perfection cannot be in God though, because the perfect perfection, the infinite perfection of God, has no place for any additions. God cannot become more divine. Infinity cannot be more infinite. Total perfection cannot be more totally perfect. So, what then? Then, so that this type of perfection, the type of perfection that is becoming perfect, should not be missing in God, for God is perfect. So how can God, the perfect God, by definition, miss that aspect of perfection, which is perfectibility, or becoming more perfect? So then, in order that this aspect should not be missing from all of creation, the world must appear. The world is created. The world is that aspect of the divine that becomes more perfect. And for this reason, the world must begin from the humblest, lowest beginnings, at the most base level, from a place of complete absence, complete negation, so that it can constantly become better and better, more and more perfect. So, in fact, we reach a vision and understanding that, in fact, the reason for the world's existence, the very raison d'etre of why we are here, is to become more perfect. Because we are divine. We are part of divinity that is becoming better and better. This is part of the absolute perfection of God, is to become perfect, is for the world to become perfect. So that completes God. So we complete God by becoming more perfect. Because God is complete. We don't complete it. He is already completed. That part of God that needs the extra perfection of perfectibility, that is the world. We are that aspect of God. So, okay, I think we will continue this in the next clip.